That's on me right there. Do you see him? Know that's on me. Do you see him? Know that's on me. Do you see him? Know that that's on me right there. When they tell me I can't love myself, how in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
It don't matter what they say about you.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else?
Some things we can't explain. Why do we act this way? Why don't we make it easier for the world to change someday? Sometimes I contemplate some things my heart can't take. Why do we hurt one another, fight our brother, kill and rape? Love can trump it all. I know you've seen it all. You know you're a star. You just have to believe in who you are. Who can you love?
Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
Don't matter what they say about you.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else?
And with living comes with ills. Don't let them make you feel like the world can't heal. It's hard out here. Despite your fears, keep holding on. With all those tears, you can't hold them all. How? Cause somebody else know you. If you don't know you, you're searching. But what's missing is your heart. Who can I love?
Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
Don't matter what they say about you.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else? Who can I love when they tell me I can't love myself?
For them niggas like me.
How in the hell could I possibly love someone else?
Don't ever fucking play with me. Y'all niggas know, y'all bitches know I'm the fucking queen. You hoe bitches know. You dirty bum bitches know. Got the strings on them.
Woke up, the price of coke up. I just hit them with the low cut, then call my folks up. Somebody about to get poked up, go call a tow truck. All that talking out your neck might just get your throat cut. This a Mack truck, not a black truck. When we move, tell them back up. Click, click, clack, duck. Hella bands, pull up, stashed up. Super facts up. All you bitches, Rosa Parks. Uh-oh, get your ass up. Yikes, I play tag and you it for life. Yikes, you a clown, you do it for likes. Yikes, yes it's tight, but it doesn't bite. Rip it right, he be like, yikes, what's the hype? This is something light. Yikes, out of town on consistent flights. Yikes, work hard, just a different white. Get your life, you bitches ain't living right.
Yeah, I
I keep 2 9s, yeah. You see my face all over that Fendi design, yeah. Soon as niggas press you, boy, you throw up peace signs, yeah. You don't want that action, pull your card, you decline, yeah. I keep 2 dimes, yeah. Walk up to a bad bitch, be like, I think you fine, yeah. I don't play with demons, Satan, get thee behind, yeah. About to get fucked up a margarita with 2 limes, yeah. Oh, I've been the same, ain't shit changed, this ain't nothing new. That pretty frame, diamond chain, what the fuck it do? Yo, clear the way, it's some bad bitches coming through. I give 2 F's like the letters that are on my shoe. Yikes, I play tag and you it for life. Yikes, you a clown, you do it for likes. Yikes, yes it's tight, but it doesn't bite. Rip it right, he be like, yikes, what's the hype? This is something light. Yikes, out of town on consistent flights. Yikes, work hard, just a different way. Get your life, you bitches ain't living right. Bag talk, but ain't got no mouth when money bag talk. It's quiet, ain't no back talk. Quiet, ain't no back talk.
Welcome back to the show.
Glad to be here. Is
Great.
Brooklyn in the house?
Great to see you again. And let me start by saying this. I have been in many a movie theater. I have watched many movies, Spike Lee. And I will tell you this. I have never experienced what I experienced watching this movie. I watched this movie in Connecticut this weekend. And the cinema was completely filled with old white people. The area I was in. It was Mystic Lake or something like that, right? And the movie plays end to end, I think 2 hours and 8 minutes. And we sit there and nobody gets up. Credits start rolling, nobody moves. And then I stood up, and we're like in the middle, and then all the white people around me were just like, yeah, you just keep. And then like even when we were walking out, people were just like, yeah, no, you first. Like everyone, it's a powerful film. Are you feeling that in the responses you get from people?
I'm on Instagram, and I got several people telling me that they were, not 1 or 2 black people in the theater. And then after the film, when the lights finally go up, the white people who loved the film, they were hugging them. They're hugging the black folks in the theater saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. I never heard anything like that before in my life.
It's a beautiful film, and just to those who don't know anything about the story, BlacKkKlansman is inspired by the true story of Ron Stallworth, right? He's an African-American detective in the 1970s. The first?
First police officer in Colorado Springs.
Right, and this is a black man who gets into a police department, and I mean, from the get-go, let's start with that part of the story. You lay out how difficult it is to play that role of being a black man and a police officer. And this is in the 1970s, but in some ways it feels like it hasn't changed.
Well, what we tried to do was, even though it takes place in the 70s, I still wanted to be contemporary. So there are many things that my co-writer, Kevin Wilmot, and I, we put in so people, it would click like,
right.
This stuff is still happening today. And then I'm not trying to spoil anything because it's out already.
Right.
But the ending that really hammers home where we are in this world today.
It's a story that connects with you on so many levels. So, you have Adam Driver's character,
right,
who's a policeman who has for so long passed as white, just plain wasp white in his neighborhood. And in the story, Ron Stallworth is a black man who goes undercover as a Klan member, which is, I mean, the premise sounds ridiculous. If you don't tell me that it's based on a true story, I'd be like, this is the wildest thing from the imagination.
That's what I thought when Jordan Peele called me.
And he says to you, this is the story, and
6 words: black man infiltrates Ku Klux Klan. High concepts. You can't get more higher than that.
Right, but the real Ron Stallworth, like, he did this. And David Duke got bamboozled by him.
Yep.
And here's the thing. What I found fantastic about it is in your film, it illuminates the ludicrous nature of racism, because David Duke becomes friends with a black man because he doesn't know that he's a black man.
Over the phone.
Right. Like, and you show that these, like, it's a human being. Like, that, maybe that's the biggest thing for me, is how were you able to make a film where you seem to approach it with a certain level of empathy, where you don't paint these people as caricatures. You see different people in the Klan. You see human beings who are doing what they believe is right, or what they believe is their divine, God-given, like, how do you begin that journey when creating that character?
It starts with the script, but without Ron's book, I mean, that's what makes it insane and is true.
Right.
So when Jordan Peele said, it sounded, automatically I thought of the David Chappelle skit.
Right.
But he said it's true, and then I read the book, and it was a great opportunity for me, even though it took place, even though the story took place in the 70s, I still thought it was a great opportunity to comment on the world we live today with Agent Orange in the White House.
Let me ask you this.
I don't say his name.
Let me
Shout out to Busta Rhymes, that's where I got it from. Busta!
Let me ask you this. Why do you think a story about the 1970s and the Klan and a black man in the police force comments on what's happening today in America?
Because I like to say, I think one of the mistakes people are making, I feel, is that they're saying this is just an American phenomenon. The rise of the right, this is happening globally. And with this guy in the White House, he's made it okay for these supremacists, white supremacists, to come out in the open. They're coming out from the rocks, and he's legitimized them. Right. And I wouldn't even call it dog whistles. He's like on a bullhorn.
Have you seen anything like this? I mean, you've been making movies that speak to what's happening in America for a long time. Have you seen anything like this?
Not in my 61 years on this earth. I mean, this is, as they say, this is bananas. This is insane. It's topsy-turvy. And the one thing I like to say to the audience and the people watching tonight, if what has happened the last 18 months, if that doesn't mobilize us to register to vote, I don't know what will. We have to get ready for these midterms, and after that, he's got to be a one-term president. You know, we have to. Because we're going for the flim-flam, the snake oil salesman, and the okie doke. And another thing, we can't get distracted by these tweets. That's like a misdirection play in football, American football.
Right.
And we know it's coming. Then we just should just like and keep focused what we got to do. That's my opinion. That's what I feel.
When you're making a story about a black man who becomes the first black police officer to work in a police force, you deal with so many issues that are relatable to what's happening today. There's a powerful line in the movie where he stumbles upon an officer who has done something that's bad. He's a repeatedly bad offender. He's killed a black kid in the story, shot him and claimed that he had a gun. And one of the other officers, who's a good guy, says to him, well, the reason we haven't outed him is because we're a family. We in the police are a family. And
the blue wall of silence.
Right. And you portray these people as being well-intentioned and flawed at the same time. Was it important
Those
for you?
human beings, though.
Right. Was it important for you to show it in that way? Because I didn't walk away from the film going like, oh, I hate these police, but I walked away going like, I see the dilemma that these people are facing. I don't agree with the decision many of them are making, but was that important to you?
Yes, because as an artist, just for myself, I try to tell the truth the best way I can, the best way I know it. And that's something I've been doing for 32 years.
Right. And how do you think you told the truth when it came to these police officers?
That no one's black or white. There's shades of gray, and people do things for different reasons. And so what I like to do in my films is show repercussions of decisions people make.
Right.
That's the interesting thing for me. You go here, and there's going to be repercussion here, repercussion this way.
You have a scene in the movie where Harry Belafonte is on screen.
Give it up.